Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are around the world right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we are here with some nice hot tea. So, Gino, the man that has been portrayed to be the victim of Jasmine, has now finally been outed for his lies. This man is nothing but a cheater and nothing but a compulsive liar. Not only is he a cheater, he's actually a serial cheater. And that's something that we are going to, or I'm going to show you guys in this video here. And of course, as always, it's up to you guys to make your decision of how you see the information that I'm about to provide for you. Now, give you a little backstory before I get into it. Currently, at this moment in time, there has been two women. Well, there's been one woman who's been very, very active on social media. And I'm talking about going into comments of bloggers, going to DMs, and she's been screaming and screaming about how Gino played her, about how Gino made her feel as if he was her man, when in reality, he never was. Okay, but also while he was doing this, he was in a relationship with his current girlfriend, Kelly. Now, because this woman came out screaming and shouting, you know what happened after that? Another woman then came forward, okay? And this is where we are right now. And this other woman is the one that we are going to be talking about in this video, because this woman ended up going directly to Kelly, Gino's current new girlfriend, and telling her, listen, yeah, I was wrong for what I did, but your man ain't nothing but a cheater. Okay, and also other information will be disclosed throughout the video as well. So that's to give you a nice little cheeky background of what's going on. So right now, two women are speaking about it, right? But there's also allegedly more than just that. Now, I will say this. For a long time, we have all speculated that Jasmine has been the one that has been unloyal towards Gino. And because of that perspective, that's why when certain things come out, people choose to want to side with Gino more than with Jasmine. Well, all the people that have been sitting there and siding with Gino rather than Jasmine are about to be in for a shocker, because when it comes to infidelity, despite the fact that Jasmine may still be the one that maybe did do a little dibble dabble at some point, which we will never know because we'll never have that proof. Here though, we have proof that Gino definitely was doing a little bit of dibbling dabbling to his current girlfriend, which would tell me that he potentially may have been doing the same thing to Jasmine, because to be fair, in the most recent season of The Last Resort, Jasmine definitely does wonder if Gino has been going elsewhere. And also on top of that, over the last couple of seasons, we've also wondered if Gino has, maybe had his eyes elsewhere because of his lack of intimacy with Jasmine. But hey, enough of the chit chat. Just wanted to give you guys a little basis of exactly what this is going to entail, and the proof is about to be provided. Now, I'm going to start off with the conversation that this woman had with Kelly, the woman that is currently Gino's new girlfriend, who is also set to appear on the single life with Gino, from my understanding. And then after this, I'm also going to show you screenshots of this woman actually having conversations with Gino himself in particular. All right, now I do also have screenshots of him having a conversation with the other woman, the one that's been screaming and shouting on flipping social media, literally in comment section. But the only reason why I'm not really going to use those is because in that one, Gino was very smart. He used the thing that you can do on your IG where your message disappear after 24 hours. Clearly, when they were talking, she didn't think about this is a bit spooky. And then obviously once she realized that this guy was nothing but trash, then she was like, oh damn, now I don't even have evidence of me actually talking to him, apart from just call logs to prove that, she was at least having conversations with him. But when it comes to her screenshot, is literally just all her because he's not there. So yeah, basically pointless, isn't it now? But nonetheless though, let's get into the nitty and freaking gritty. So as you can see in this screenshot here, this screenshot is all about Kelly trying to establish what relationship Gino had with this woman, because she was under the impression that this woman was nothing but a fan and nothing more. But of course, something clearly tickled Kelly's interest to find out more, obviously about the relationship Gino had with this woman. It was clearly Gino must have told her something else, or maybe she just assumed that this woman was nothing but a fan. But let's be real, if Gino's gonna be replying to multiple women, who had just happened to be fans, come on now, what's he replying for? Let's keep it simple, right? I mean, a man that is married and also now celebrated but now has a new partner, should he be entertaining women in his DMs? That's the question that you should always have to ask yourself, isn't it? And that should give you your answer. Unless it's a business move, which clearly it wasn't. Now we move on to the next one here, where this woman does say to Kelly, I am a fan, nothing more. But when I commented on a post of his, he asked to see photos. Kelly responded by saying, photos of you? And the woman said, yeah. Kelly says, and then he started pursuing you? And the woman's like, a little bit of flirting, but nothing terrible. What I wrote to you originally is true. Then Kelly comes in and says, and when did he say he wanted to see you for New Year's? Because he wanted to come out to Michigan, but I didn't. Well, Lori made it sound like you guys had something more. I don't know. I'm so confused and so upset and so hurt. And as you can see, she put down the date of December 9. Now, regarding that date itself in particular, and regarding this whole New Year's thing, that is something that I do have evidence of this woman having this conversation with Gino, which I will be showing with you guys later on in the video. Okay, now we move on to the next one. In this one in particular here, obviously we're continuing from the December the 9th, where Kelly comes in and said his plans fell through. I wonder what plans he had. We had plans. We broke up for a short time and then got back together. He came back to me, capital letters. Then we continue here with the woman coming and saying, I don't know what his other plans were. I got the impression that you had really liked you and reached out to me during the breakup. That's when I wrote to you originally. Interesting. And then of course Kelly comes and says, oh, so that's why you asked about the drama. And the woman goes, yes. And this is where things get interesting. Yes, I was being sincere. I think you seemed like a great catch and told Gino that. But by your post, it seemed like you wanted people to contact you. Kelly comes in and says, oh, because apparently he told that Lori girl that I was just his filming partner and that it wasn't serious. This woman responds with saying, red flags for me when I saw what Lori wrote on his IG a few days ago. And like I said before at the beginning of the video, because of this Lori woman coming out and speaking and pretty much, making it clear about Gino's bad habits, this is what's obviously, triggered other women to have conversations, as you can see in front of us. And then also here, as you can see, Kelly comes in and says, and something about a catfish, what did she write? Can you send it? And this is obviously the conversations. These are the posts that was made by Lori at the time, along with the comment stuff in particular. But that's something that we don't need to get into. Okay, it's just to give you evidence to what is actually being going on. Now, as you can see at the bottom, it does said, who said the roller coaster thing, him or her? Well, let's find out. Okay. When I saw that, I figured he was talking with her, so I sent her a note, and she started talking about the show, etc. I honestly don't know. But if you could look at her profile, his, it should be on there. I want to be clear that I had another profile and closed that account because I am focused on my Christian faith and I didn't want to be involved in inappropriate behavior. I sent sexy photos and I know that isn't right. Then she says, oh, I don't see that on her page. She goes, whoa, what's going on here? You sent sexy photos to him? She goes, yes. In December? Well, let's find out. Originally, I didn't know you. So obviously here at the beginning it says, I say the same thing, isn't it? Originally, I didn't know about you. Okay, which is quite interesting. All right. When was that? When was that you sent those photos? She said in September. Wow, really? We mainly talked about football. Was he pursuing you? Did he delete all of the messages that he sent to you? The fact that she asked that question means that she's very aware that Gino's somebody that has a habit of deleting, messages. All right, and that's something that obviously Lori went through, which tells me that maybe Kelly had a conversation with Lori before this, but I don't know that to be sure. But as we continue here, the woman comes in and says, not very much, no. I thought he was cute on the show. I was surprised he was interested in me at all. He mentioned visiting Mall of America, I believe it is, but we'll get Mall of America in Minnesota. Okay. Oh, okay, Kelly says. He was going to visit you? So was this friendly talk or was he trying to pursue something? Something that Kelly obviously needs to know and is obviously asking him. And as you can see in front of you, we continue where the woman says to Kelly, I think that he was low-key flirting and clearly liked you a lot, but wanted to keep options open. Again, I didn't say that to you originally because he eventually said he was in a relationship. Okay, but then I saw the Lori stuff. Also, we had a bet whenever Lion Vikings game was on that the loser would send a sexy picture. That is crazy work right there. Okay, the first Lion Viking game of whatever that's meant to say at the end of that. I mean, listen to me, obviously, of the season. I mean, listen to me. End of the day, this stuff definitely doesn't look good on Gino at all in any shape or form because he's obviously, commenting or having a conversation with at least 3 women at this moment in time. Obviously with Laurie, he had obviously was a conversation with, which I would believe that was crossover to when he was talking to this young lady here. And then also we got the crossover of him obviously still being with Kelly in that process too, which obviously, like I said before, it makes you wonder, how did Gino really behave when he was in a relationship with, well, when he was actually still with Jasmine, okay? Because a lot of things just aren't, I don't know. Does Gino have a fetish of just speaking to women but not actually, you know, indulging any physicality with them? Does he get a buzz of the fact that he knows he can get women and that's more than enough for his dopamine? I mean, these are the questions that obviously need to be asked or need to be found out from Gino, but hey ho. This woman obviously says, the first Lions-Viking game of the season, the worst he did with me was ask for a sexy pic of me when he was with you, and he said he'd get in touch if you broke up. Nasty work. Wow, that's awful. Liking lingerie? Yes. What was the Lions? When was the Lions and Viking game? I believe this would have been the 20th of October. And she's responding, oh my god, what did he say about the pics? Well, let's get into that one. That he likes our shots. I didn't save everything. Said I was attractive but not overly complimentary. I honestly look not nearly as good as you. You sent our shots to him? No. I asked him what he liked and that's what he said. I made a joke about no butt implants like Jasmine and he said that's okay. Kelly responds, says, so how many photos did you send? Did he send you any photos? No, he didn't send me photos. I probably sent maybe 3 to 4 photos. But but you didn't know about me when you sent them? Well, that's where it gets interesting, right? Why are we getting confused here? Because, well, here at the bottom it says, I didn't know about you. All right, cool. And then obviously we move on to the next one here. Okay, there's obviously a jump in conversation here, okay, folks. But listen, so far, we are in a situation where Gino has asked somebody to send in photos. This person has then sent in photos. And to be fair, you know, for me personally, I was like, I don't know why you would do that, to be honest. That's just crazy stuff. But later on in the video, you will discover there is something that this woman says about her current situation in life. And then that explained to me why she did what she did. Because I know people who are been in these situations, and some of you folks would have known. And when people are in these situations in their life, to be honest with you, that's when people just end up not really caring too much about anything because they just know X, Y, Z is about to happen. But we will get into that one obviously as we proceed. So as we continue, you can see that the woman that is speaking to Kelly says, Lions game. I don't remember the specific dates. I also sent one last week and immediately regretted it. He just liked the photo last week and nothing more. Kelly says, oh, you guys weren't talking? I'm not too sure what she's referring to there, but she continues by saying, yeah, we were back together last week, LOL. The woman replies and says, it was my fault, not his. Here is my exact message. Hey, I want to apologize because I am a Christian and love God. I was inappropriate with you. I made mistakes, but let it reflect on me, not on Jesus. Bless you. Listen, I understand why she's saying what she's saying, but it takes two to tango, you know? This is definitely not a situation where she can sit there and just take the only sole blame, because Gina's the one that is in a committed relationship and he's the one that decided to entertain you. And clearly, you know, you decided to entertain back, which is obviously where this one was 1000% wrong. But to sit there and say it was my fault is crazy work. Gino could have been like, no, I don't want no photos from you, okay? He could be like, no, we're not gonna make such a ridiculous bet that involves sending pictures each time one of our team wins or loses. Do you see what I'm saying? So as much as she wants to speak in this format for her own personal reasons, I'm gonna have to say, darling, he's in as much wrong as you, all right? But let's continue. Kelly asks a simple question. Why did you send it? She says, a moment of weakness happened to be looking through old professional photos. I'm very sorry. Seeing someone on TV, it feels like they aren't real. Imagine that Gino, out of all people, is the person that you thought, oh my God, I can't believe he's not real. Come on now. Anyway, we continue. He's not into me from what I can tell. It sounds like Laurie, perhaps he is or was, okay? And that's what is a little concerning. And listen, fair enough. But we continue here where Kelly comes and says, yeah, that's concerning to me and heartbreaking. The woman responds by saying, "Oh my gosh, Kelly, I feel like right now. What can I do to help? Should I say something to Gino? He knows that I talked to you before." Kelly says, "It's okay, don't feel like shit. And don't say anything to him, please." Okay, and then of course, it seems as if Kelly decided to pick up the conversation again on another day. 8 o'clock in the morning, goddamn, Kelly had this on her mind. She probably didn't even sleep well. But nonetheless though, she asks the question, "Hey, do you have any screenshots of your conversations with Gino?" "I have some, not all." "Do you want them?" Lori should have screenshots of her conversations with me also. I'm pretty sure she meant with him. But hey, we'll continue. She says, "Listen, I'll take whatever you have." "Okay, we'll send shortly. Thank you so much." And then of course in the next screenshot here, as you can see, the pictures were then sent over to Kelly. Okay, obviously as proof of that conversation. These are the same screenshots that I actually have at hand, which I will be showing later on in the video. Now Kelly decided just to make it abundantly clear that just for your information, it was disrespectful to give a man photos like that and your number when you know he has a girlfriend. You know, this is one of those situations where you have that conversation, isn't it? Who's in the right, who's in the wrong, who needs to be respectful and who doesn't. You know, you can argue and say that in this situation, this woman doesn't necessarily owe Kelly anything, and let's be real, there are many women these days who are trying to steal men from other women and vice versa too. So he does kind of fall in that category of conversation, doesn't it? But I will say this though, whether or not, well, no, I mean, obviously this woman was wrong to be engaged in a conversation with somebody that was taken 1000%, especially given the fact that she's religious. So she definitely was wrong for that. But Gino is definitely the one that is in the wrong far much more, because he was the one, or he's the one in a committed relationship to Kelly. And that's something Kelly has to take seriously and really and truly should be a deal breaker for their relationship. But nonetheless though, we continue here where Kelly says, "What is that account that you wrote him on? Because I want to show him these, but because he denied it." She says it's a closed account. It's closed now. Okay. And Kelly asks, was there any numbers to the name? Midwest Girl _19. Obviously the account is no longer here. You can search it up if you like, but it's no longer here. Now with that being said, we continue here where Kelly says, "We were very serious at that time, so this is very hurtful. He had told me already that he loved me, that he had never been more in love, that he wanted to marry me, move in together. I was like the love of his life, etc, etc. So yeah, we were already close at that time." You know what though? Anybody that believes Gino when he says that "I love you," come on now. We've seen the story ourselves. You can't be that delusional. Now what I'm about to say next is definitely gonna upset some people, but Kelly is blonde though, so you know. You know what they say about the blonde bimbos. She's kind of representing that one a bit too well, but hey, I'm just playing. Relax, my fellow blondies. Now with that being said though, as you can see here, this woman says some texts. The last one is from yesterday, which is quite interesting. And as you can see, she says, "Did he respond to the one from yesterday? Why do you still write to him?" And that's a bloody good question. How often are you texting with him? Because really and truly, still texting and talking to him is absolutely ludicrous. When you know that the wrongs are being made, you know what I mean? They have been made, and still talking to him is still making that wrong. But nonetheless though, this woman says to Kelly, "No, he didn't respond yesterday. He just liked it. I wrote because he never told me to stop. I wasn't for sure that we were in a relationship." Hold on a minute. You're telling me that you continue texting this man because he didn't tell you to stop and you wasn't sure that you were in a relationship. So, okay, I'm confused. So was she in the position where she believed that she was in a relationship with him, or she just knew that she was just a fan and Kelly was far better than her? That stuff is hella confusing, but either way though, she still continued to talk to him because he hasn't told her to go away, which is a wild one. You know, out here exposing the man, but yeah, you can't stop talking to him. Gino must have some crazy impact with his words. But nonetheless though, Kelly says, "But he told you he was, LOL. Oh, my bad. Do you know what? I read that incorrectly. Sorry. She wasn't sure if Kelly and Gino were in a relationship still. Got it. I completely get it. All right. Okay. And obviously now she's sure. That's why she's now talking to Kelly. So, you know, my bad. That's on me. My bad. Right. Now, as we continue, he also tells the entire world that he's married to Jasmine. Kelly says he's still married to her, but they're separated. And they have an NDA, so they have to keep their storyline going, which we all bloody knew, which is now a confirmation, right? This woman says, I am not in TV industry. I didn't know that. Neither if you had publicly confirmed your relationship in a monogamous relationship, which is true because obviously of what was portrayed on The Last Resort. Now we continue here where Kelly says he literally said he had a girlfriend, which he did say in one of the screenshots that I will show later on. So it is weird how she's kind of confused, or is confused, or at least pretending to be confused about the situation with him having a girlfriend, but he did make it abundantly clear at the very beginning, to be honest with you. But hey, we continue. And this woman responds by saying, okay, I'm sorry. What I mean is that I didn't know if it was you or who. Listen, sometimes it's hard to make sense out of a lot of things or what people say, isn't it now? But nonetheless, though, we continue where Kelly says, in the future, don't be that girl. Put yourself in my shoes and imagine if a woman did that. Did that to you knowing you were with the guy, okay? Even if it wasn't me, he said he had a girlfriend. That should have been enough, which is very true. And she responds by saying, as I wrote to Gino yesterday, I apologize for becoming being inappropriate, especially as a Christian. It won't happen with me again. He also didn't stop me. You know, when people throw in the, like, you know, when it comes to accountability involves not mentioning someone else as a problem too. You know, accountability is you saying, listen, you know what, I was in the wrong and I won't do it again. That's it. If Gino wants to learn from his mistakes, then he will learn from his own mistakes or his ridiculous behavior, if anything. Not even mistake, just ridiculous behavior. Because from my understanding, there are so many other women, but yeah, that's just that. But either way, though, I just love the way she's like, yeah, but also he didn't stop me. I'm sorry, but do you need him to hold your hand? Like, you shouldn't. Gina shouldn't have to stop you for you to know what is wrong and what is right. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a calamity of a comment. But anyway, we continue here where Kelly says, yeah, and that's crappy of him, but you should have known better too, which is an absolute fact. But to be honest, I don't even know why Kelly's even entertaining this type of conversation. Really and truly, you've got your information, let's keep it moving. But instead of doing that, their conversation kept going on and on and on, and we are going to get down to the bottom of every single screenshot, because originally I tried to cut them down, but every single one literally followed up to another conversation that I thought, oh damn, this is quite crucial to add to the video. So here I am. And we all know how I love to read. Now, of course, see, this woman responds by saying, agreed. To be honest, you are way better looking and accomplished than I am. So I didn't seriously consider meeting. That's crazy work, though. Come on now, man. Like, stop talking about how good Kelly is. Now, Kelly says, thanks, you're sweet, but that's irrelevant. I'm sure you're beautiful, which, listen, absolutely irrelevant. Okay, the deed was done. Now, she responds by saying, originally I wrote to you because he seemed like maybe sad, and I wasn't trying to nudge you, and I wasn't trying to nudge you back together. I'm not beautiful. I'm sick, including terminal cancer. Or I'm not just she's saying but she goes was trying. Okay. Yes. I was trying to nudge you back together. That's it. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, and it goes, I'm not beautiful. I'm sick, including terminal cancer. Right. So this is what I was mentioning about previously in the video when I said that I believe I know why this woman decided to send Gino photos and why she decided to even continue entertaining them. Now, from my understanding, and I've known people myself, okay, who have had terminal cancer, and luckily they've actually survived it as well, okay, due through to all the stuff that you have to go through. But when they were in that mindset of the fact that their life was going to be taken away at said time, okay, they would start to make choices they wouldn't make choices before. You know, some choices were small, some choices were big. Okay, and it's because when people get to that point where they know they don't got any more, they haven't got much life left, they just think, F it, let me just do whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? And people end up doing what you can argue and say can be reckless behavior depending on what they're doing, okay? So that's why I generally do believe that the reason why she had a moment of weakness or whatever was probably because she was like, well, I'm going to be passing away soon, so I might as well just have fun with X, Y, Z. You know, and that's my only assumption. That is my only assumption to why maybe she really did decide to indulge in a conversation with Gino, and why she still continues to, because it's one of those things of leaving of living the rest of your last few days or months or years, whatever, right? Knowing at least you have someone to talk to, because I know some people do go through that way. They just need someone to just be there. So that is my assumption based on that, but it could easily be wrong and completely, you know, off. And I also do apologize. I should have really given a disclaimer about the cancer in this one, but yeah, I do apologize for that, to be fair. But to be fair, because it wasn't spoken about in a negative way, she's just saying, I just didn't think about it. You know what I mean? If the video was gonna be a negative one, then I would have given it, you know? But we continue though. Kelly says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for that. It was a rough breakup. Okay. And continues by saying, but very short-lived. The woman said, it's okay. It's not an excuse, but how I got into the show and want others to be happy. I frankly think that you deserve better, especially after talking with Lori. She feels the same. Kelly says, thank you. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. Of course, he denied everything. We need to talk more about it when he's home. She says, well, you have the information. Facts are power. I'm assuming he will not be happy with me or Lori. And then, of course, Kelly comes in and says, what the hell? Okay, there was a big jump there. Okay, well, she says he didn't know something you were. I'm not too sure what that means. Okay, now obviously, as you can see here, oh boy, she says yes, he does know who I am. And then obviously Kelly says obviously he's lying or has talked to so many girls he forgot. That is most likely the situation. He spoke to so many that he's forgotten. But then again, though, some people speak to many people and keep record of it regardless. So yeah, it's a matter of you picking what decision you want to go with. You see what I'm saying? What reason that you want to go with. She continues by saying, yep, he texts me, so yep. And Kelly says, did you ever tell him your name? She says, yes. And Kelly responds by saying, not sure why he tries to lie about stuff when there's solid evidence. Exactly. Did he end up deleting any messages? I mean, listen, that's the question, isn't it? She goes, wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. I'm just make sure that's it. Exactly. I don't know if he deleted text messages on his end. The IG messages are probably gone because I deleted the account. She goes, okay, can you reactivate it? And this is obviously evidence showing that, yes, this is Gino, he gave me your number, and this is the number that he had, which you obviously have covered up for clear reasons why I've covered it up. And Kelly says, I believe you, and she goes, that's the number I use, and she goes, yep, that is his number. So Gino definitely gave away his actual number. And also continues by saying, well then he received my texts. I believe you, he's just trying to save his ass right now. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be doing that, right? And then obviously and then the woman responds by saying he was maybe just being nice because I watched the show and had to have a backup if you two broke up again. Listen, I don't know why this woman's kind of trying to justify for Gino. Like, stop that. Just stop. No man or woman should have a backup. You know, if you're gonna have a backup, that means you don't trust that the relationship in is going to work. That's why people have backups. And listen, there's a fine difference between backups and options. Options are for people that are dating, I guess. Backups just shouldn't exist. That's just that, you know. Anyway, we continue here. You can argue that options shouldn't exist neither, but it depends who you're talking to. Now here, as you can see, the woman also says it's your decision, but from what I can see, you could have any number of nice men who are faithful. Kelly responds saying, thank you, you're sweet. He's done this before, sadly. So Kelly's confirming that Gino has been unfaithful in the past. So why the hell is she still with this man? And that's what raised the question, is she only with him because of the show? So therefore she can end up getting that fame? I mean, she's trying to claim that she loves him and, you know, and he's the best thing that's ever happened to her, but boy, very hard to believe. Nonetheless though, Kelly also says, and I left him for it, but he came back stronger than ever, trying to win me back. Listen, I don't give a damn how strong he came back. You took him back knowing that this guy can't even be faithful. And clearly it's happened all over again. And to make it worse, she hasn't even left him. They're still coming together from my understanding. Now this woman comes in and says, I mean, it's so tough. I don't think what he did to me is super terrible. But the stuff with Lori and the other women, and if I'd be younger / cuter, he was fishing back in September. I get doing it for exposure, etc. But if you're looking for a real husband, I hope that you be careful and do some digging. And then Kelly says, what do you mean he was fishing in September? What's worse is I was literally under the knife for him. Oh, who else went under the knife for him? Well, Jasmine never said it was necessarily for Gino. It was for herself, but it was also for Gino because she said when she got the butt implants, Gino always likes a bigger bum, so that's why I got it done. So that does sound quite, interesting. Now, with that being said, she says, no way, you did not. She goes, I did. I paid for it myself, of course. Imagine that. I mean, Jasmine got Gino to pay it himself, you know what I'm saying? Damn, this woman, she didn't learn, did she? It just gets ugly and ugly, doesn't it now? So right now, we've discovered several things about Gino. 1, he's a cheater. 2, he's a cheater. 3, he's a cheater, because there's 3 women clearly that, have been confirmed in this video compared to the fact, because we've got Lori, we've got this woman here, and another one that happened previously that Kelly just obviously mentioned as well. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Now, as you can see here, it continues by saying, I used to be a PT care coordinator for plastic surgeons, but fishing, I meant asking for photos. I assume not the only one. She goes, I'm not doing anything for exposure. I genuinely love the man and have a real relationship with him. You're probably not, and that pisses me off. That's crazy work. Breast augmentation. Did he ask you to? No, I'd already done that. LOL. I'd rather not say. So this is obviously for something else that she obviously went and got a, she went under the knife for. And she goes, that's fine. It's private, but I hope you did it for yourself and not for him. Kelly says, and I was even talking to the producers that time, and they were telling me how he talks about me and really cares about me. So it seems like he shows different sides to different people, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, in fact, I've seen that, because on the most recent episode, I don't know if it was this week's, I think it was the episode the week before of The Last Resort, when he was telling the boys and whatnot, the conversation of how things went down with him and Jasmine, it wasn't accurate to what actually went down. He said in a way that favors himself. So he's definitely one of those people that knows how to manipulate the situation. Looks oblivious, but he's never oblivious. Think about it. Let that one sink in. Oh, I like that one. Looks oblivious, but never oblivious. God damn. That's probably me, to be honest. I look oblivious all the time, but I never am. Maybe sometimes I am. Anyway, we continue. So as we can see here, Kelly says, the woman says to Kelly, I think he really does care about you. I mean, if he cared about it, then why the hell was he messaging you and getting naughty pictures from you? That makes sense. Kelly says, because even our mutual friend is like, what the F? He never told me any of this. And continues by saying, and she even told me how he talks about how in love with me he is. Well, he says it, but he doesn't exactly, preaching it. Either way, though, it is what it is. Now, this woman asks, do you have low self-esteem? And she goes, sorry, not sure why my message didn't send. He must have had a low self-esteem at some point. But I build him up all the time. If you ask me, Gino probably pretends to have low self-esteem to lure women in to want to fix him, when in reality, he knows what he's doing. Because a person with low self-esteem wouldn't be... I was going to say a person with low self-esteem wouldn't be speaking to so many women at once, but then at the same time, some people with low self-esteem do need to talk to more people, so therefore they have that reassurance that they can get a girl. You know what I'm saying? So there is that part too. So to be fair, maybe he does. It's a fair point. Nonetheless, though, this woman comes in and says, that's good. I just wondered if that's why he needed all the attention and affection. I just saw a screaming article from a few hours ago. And what's the article? The timing is very coincidental. It is related to Laura reaching out, etc. and damage control, or just a coincidence. Ooh, damn. And as you can see here, there was a quote, Gino rumored to have a girlfriend in Miami, I believe. If that's MI? I think so. And as you can see, obviously, she asks, do you have the link? It might be about our friend who takes pictures with him. Everyone thinks it's his girlfriend. It's a coincidence, I promise. Screamman is always posting stuff. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now we move on here where it says, or Kelly says, okay, I saw it now. It could be about me or Lemina, which is sure. Lemina. Screamman has posted about both of us. See, you are used to these things like that. I'm not. It was just odd timing. I thought maybe it was a good thing that you two were getting all along. You two were getting along well. Yeah. Kelly says it's probably me or her, but people know he has a girlfriend. There's a few articles about me on Screen Rant and Lamina too, but she's just a friend. She must be blonde as well then. Interesting. It's hard to keep it all straight. Yeah, they post up all the time and Gino sends it to me. Are you feeling any better? I don't know why she's even asking that question, to be honest with you. What's there to feel good about? What's there to feel better about, you know? I'm pretty sure there is absolutely nada freaking thing. Anyway, with that being said though, Kelly comes in and says, not really, LOL. I won't be until I really talk to him about it and get some answers. Our friend met up with him yesterday and said he was calling me his girlfriend, and she was surprised how outright he was about it, and that he said a lot of good things about me. I mean, I've been his girlfriend for months now, except for a few weeks we were separated, but he's acting like he used to when he was really in love with me. Interesting. She responds by saying, I'm sure he is really in love with you. Oh, dear Lord, whatever. I don't feel like Lori was trying to be mean in any way. More like she just thought you should know the truth. I do deserve that. Thank you. Honestly, this whole in love nonsense is just too much. Ain't nobody in love with nobody. Whoa. Ain't Gino in love with anybody. This is not actions of somebody that's in love with anybody. In fact, this is actions of somebody who probably can't even be in love with anyone ever. Like, imagine this guy's what, 50 plus, and this is how he's behaving. I think the whole ship of being in love is sailed for him. Maybe in another 10 years he'll be able to understand what it is and then value it, because right now valuing it is definitely not one of those things that he's able to do. That's just that. You know what I mean? That's where my sympathy levels lie, you know? Now, with that being said, here we continue where Kelly comes up by saying, thank you. I really hope so. I really hate when he goes to New York because of all this. So we talk every single night, so I cannot worry. Why didn't you just go with him? Maybe she's got work commitments. The woman responds by saying, if you want to be with him, he clearly wants to be with you. I feel so bad that you feel bad. Gotta be honest, makes me glad I'm not dating. You know what? These are probably the screenshots that I clearly should have just got rid of. that I didn't need. Because this isn't really that relevant in my opinion, I don't think anyway. But Kelly responds by saying, yeah, he's the first person I dated in over 12 years because I was married. That is crazy work. You didn't date for 12 years or you were married for 12 years? I was married for 3 years, but was with the guy for 12 years. Oh, okay, that's wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. And obviously here, as we can see here, she comes in and says, I don't know. I don't think he will if he cannot commit to me. Yeah, these screenshots don't look necessary to me. I'm just scanning the whole thing, and that one's not necessary. Right. In fact, if anything, I believe we have everything that we need. So therefore, now I'm going to show you the other screenshots, the ones that I mentioned that are a part of it. Okay. So let me get those up, and then we can go from there. So this is one of the first screenshots I'm going to show you guys regarding Gino having a conversation with this woman. And as you can see in the second paragraph, she says, Mall of America is cool. No Lego land park there. But there has the world's largest Lego store. You should check it out sometime. So she's telling him that he can check it out by himself, right? He responds by saying, no Lego park, haha. I would like to check it out sometime, especially if you give me a tour. With the emoji with the love hearts. So Gina's the first one to initiate the potential of these two actually physically meeting. She responds by saying, of course, it would be my pleasure. Lots of fun things to do here. Then move on to the next one, where, as we know, she likes to throw compliments like every other 10 seconds. So she's obviously said something to him above. He responded by saying, oh, thank you for the beautiful compliments. Now, also on top of that, she does also say to him and obviously says, listen, if you're ever in my town, let me know. Okay, just let me know. And also gives the same emoji back. And I guess she's just trying to match his energy. Who knows? Either way, Gino says, oh yes, I definitely will. I do think you are attractive and probably would try making plans to visit, but I'm becoming close with a woman recently. Isn't it interesting how he's able to mention that he's becoming close with a woman, but at the same time also saying that I'd be happy to meet you though, because I do find you attractive at some point. Very interesting game he's trying to play here. Interesting. Now, we move on to the next one where Gino said, well, in fact, she says, in that case, I'll be cheering extra loud for the Vikings to win. Now, remember what was said before. They had a bet on each time one of the team won or lost, they will send each other nudes or sector pictures, should I say. And as you can see here, he responds saying, haha, my Lions did it. I can't wait for the prize. So the prize was what exactly? The prize was her sending a picture of herself. Wow. And this is a man that literally has said that he had becoming close to women. Now, to be honest with you, the fact that he had said that I am becoming close to women recently, that's him basically saying that I'm not taken just yet. Someone's in my life, but I'm still available. Now, that doesn't mean that she should jump into that, She should still be like, okay, no, can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because either way, he's still busy with someone else, right? But you know how some people be. Either way, though, we continue with Gino and his prize. Now, she says, reach out on WhatsApp if you want to talk. My IG account actually won't let me follow anybody, so might delete this one. Can't convince it. I'm real. You're always free to send a sexy pic even though Vikings lost. Cheeky, cheeky. And he says, butt shots are my fave, which is something that we spoke about earlier on in the video as well. By far, side view or more from behind. Look at him even being very specific about what he wants from her. Yeah, Mr. Saint. And then also on top of that, he also goes and says, what's your number? I'm in a close relationship right now for your information. Otherwise, I would. The way this guy, so you see what's happened, right? She has asked him for a picture if he wants to. But then at the same time, he's then obviously then said, well, I would, but I can't because I'm in a relationship. So it's on it. So Gino, so you can receive pictures from people, but you can't give any because you're in a relationship. The double standard is a madness. Obviously, clearly, he didn't want to send any pictures because he knows that he's in the public eye. And of course, if she was to use those pictures against him in the public eye, then that would not be a good look for him. So to be fair, he was smart in his regard and he was smart not to do it. I give him that. But this is the thing that's crazy though. The fact that she was still happy to send him pictures regards to the fact that, he's now in a close relationship is nasty work. But the things that people do when they are in certain positions, eh? Now, as we can see, Gino messages says, hey, it's Gino. I saved the number you gave me. Good morning. What are you doing New Year's Eve? Can I visit you for a few days, including New Year's Eve? You see that? And this is something that we spoke about before because, of course, he had told Kelly something completely different. And as you can see, she says, hi, Gino. How are you? I swear I thought of you yesterday watching football. Vikings are 11-2. The Vikings better watch out. And then also continues by saying, I don't have any plans for New Year's. I am not much of a partier. He says, yeah, both our teams are killing it. Do you really think of me watching football yesterday? And we all know how much he loves his football. So here's the thing though, okay? So Gino obviously has told her again, by the way, I am in a relationship. But then also says, oh, what are you doing New Year's Eve? Ah, dear Lord. Yeah, let's just let that sink in. Now, Gino says, can you do me a favor and send me recent pics of yourself? Again with the pics. And sorry for asking, but what was your age again? She says, I'm 54, way too old for you, I'm afraid. I don't look as good, as gorgeous anymore as Jasmine or that type. I prefer to be honest with you. If you want a real friend, that's cool. And I think you're looking for something else. Wink, wink. What happened to your girlfriend? And he says, long story, but we are not together. So he now lies and well, depends. Well, according to the conversation, they did separate at some point, but when he told her that they were separated, well, apparently it wasn't actually true because he told her at a time when they were actually back together. That's how it seemed anyway. But let's just go back a second here because Jasmine spoke a lot about how Gino has an addiction to the pornography. Yeah? So here's the thing. Does Gino have a habit, an addiction, to messaging random women, getting pictures of them, so he can use it for his own pleasures? You see what I'm saying? And I think with or without contract, I still don't believe he'd actually send pictures to any women anyway, because his goal isn't to get involved in that way. His goal is for them to send him pictures so he can obviously enjoy himself. And if he was using these pictures and, doing the manners with them, even when he was in a relationship with Jasmine, I mean, some people would argue and say that that is still infidelity itself in particular. And it makes you wonder if and how many people he did speak to when he was actually with Jasmine as well. You never know. You never really truly know. But if anything, I do start to feel like Gino gets off from pictures more than he does from actual physical touch. So maybe Jasmine just needed to keep sending him pictures at a time. That definitely wouldn't have helped her, though, would have now. But either way, though, Gino clearly has somewhat of a problem. But hey ho, he's now letting his availability be known. Now, she responds by saying, I hope you're doing okay. Breakups can be hard. I'm pretty sure you have no trouble finding it and you lady love. You seem very sweet, and any girl would be lucky to have you. You know what that bad boy baffles me? She says all these things, but yet this guy had you sending pictures when he was already with someone. Make that make sense. But hey, you can't make sense out of what? Out of stupidity. And that was the last screenshot itself in particular right there. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts on everything that's been shown to you folks right here, right now, you know. And yeah, we will most certainly get into the comment section. And I will say this though, I do have some other information that I should be looking to upload soon regarding Gino as well. Okay, I just haven't looked into it just yet. I received it at some point after these ones, and I just wasn't going to put in this video because I haven't even read them yet, because there's just always so many screenshots. But once I get down to those ones that are also involving Gino himself in particular, if I do feel like they are quite crucial, I will definitely be making another video that would be technically a follow-up to this one. Okay, so please do make sure you get your notifications on, the subscribe button on, so therefore you are alerted for when that does happen. Okay, yeah. Now, yeah, that's it, I think. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to add anything else, because come on guys, you should be able to make a choice about the situation after everything that I've had to read for God knows how long. And we all know how much I hate reading. I don't even know how long this video is. I had to make this in freaking segments. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.